on Friday, we had the Indiana State Police Aviation Section assist us, and they did a flyover with an infrared camera. In that packet I provided you, there is a photograph, as I said, from Friday, that shows a lot of white spots in that photograph, and that is all the hot spots that still remain. So we still have a little bit of work ahead of us to get this to be considered fully extinguished. Some of those hot spots, they got in a little closer, and those temperatures are still well above 300 degrees, so it's still pretty warm in some of those spots. But again, we have an excavator in there that's helping to expose those, and it could be up to another week or so before we actually get this thing fully extinguished. I guess the main thing we wanted to talk about is that, as I provided you in that packet, the ATF has offered a $5,000 reward for any information leading to the arrest or conviction of anyone involved in setting this fire. Now, I want to emphasize that this reward does not mean that there's been any criminal activity that they suspect, okay? So the reward is being offered to potentially assist with the investigation. And I want to clarify here that part of every investigation is about eliminating all possibilities. So again, it's about eliminating all possibilities. So that's why that $5,000 reward has been offered, just in case there is something going on and somebody has any information. A lot of people have been asking how big this building was. The footprint of the building has been estimated to be around 420,000 square feet, with the overall warehouse space to be just under 1 million, just because it was a multi-story structure. So other than that, that's really about the only true update I have for you. Most of the other information is stuff I've already told you. So I'll open it up for a few questions.
You mentioned it's been a week now. Have you ever experienced a fire in which you're still dousing hot spots a week later?
Well, I've never been in this position before to say for sure. So I would assume yes, because we have had some other large fires, but I can't say for sure.
You say it could take yet another week to get it fully extinguished?
It could possibly, yes.
Do you have any idea yet, as you've been able to get closer and inside, what was it inside that warehouse? I mean, 1 million square feet, that's a lot.
So our reports are telling us that basically the warehouse was empty. If there was anything in it, it was very small amounts of maybe pallets and things of that nature.
So nothing was still stored in there?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Anything hazardous in there that you know of?
Nothing has been reported. I would assume by now we would have heard about that, but as far as we know now, no.
And the Indiana Department of Environmental Management, have they come on scene at all? I know that they're aware of it, but have they been here?
They have not.
I know we have some weather in the forecast for tomorrow, lots of rain. What does that do for this investigation? Does that have any sort of impact?
No, but it would help us put the rest of the fires out, hopefully. So if we get a good couple inches of rain, that would definitely benefit that part of it.
You mentioned hotspots reaching more than 300 degrees. First of all, this is kind of a two-part question. First, how common is that in any fire, or even a fire like in a building this size? And also, what kind of risks or dangers can have a hotspots still there at that degree close to anybody?
Well, as far as hotspots that we've ever had, I mean, this is very typical as we have large buildings when they collapse. To say, again, whether, how common that is, I would say it's very common, again, depending on the size of the building. And what was your second question?
Like what kind of, having the hotspots at that degree, or more than 300 degrees, or what kind of dangers does that pose to either the firefighters or, well, anybody?
Well, I mean, with the firefighters, I really none, because they're not going to be standing right on top of it. Fortunately, the excavator we have has a very long reach, and as we see those little smoldering spots, he reaches out there, grabs it, picks it up, exposes it, and then they just spray water at it and pretty much put it out. So really no risk.
As what investigators have been able to talk with people like around the neighborhood here, so did anybody like see anyone in this area like the night before or even hours before the fire started?
At this point in time, I'm not privy to that information. Whenever they get done with all of their investigation, they will generate an overall report with all of their findings, and then we'll share that at that time.
Do you know if any surveillance video has been accumulated from the area?
I do not know that. Again, I'm not privy to that.
I know last time we spoke, you said that you weren't sure if you talked to the owner yet. Is there an update to that? Have you guys spoken to them?
So I don't know that one either. I'm sorry, I don't. Anything else?
The excavator, like how long could it take to clean up the site here? Right? How long did that whole process take? Because I mean, the building this size, it's not going to be done overnight. But we're looking at weeks, maybe months.
Well, I would say whenever that is determined, there'll be more than one excavator here to help expedite that process. But to give that a timeline would be a pure estimate, and I wouldn't be the person to ask that.